Speeches Days of War, Zelenskyy encourages Ukraine. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, nobody expected his country to survive when Russia invaded 100 days ago. World leaders recommended him to flee. However, they failed to recognize us, he stated in a late nighttime video clip within April while the conflict hit its 50th day. However, they failed to recognize us. He might have been talking roughly himself. No one knew how a 44-year vintage guy who had catapulted himself from the sector of amusement into the presidency could reply to an invasion through Russia's large army. Zelenskyy's reaction has been forceful and compellingly public. Zelenskyy has led Ukrainians in mounting a suddenly fierce resistance. Every night, he rallies Ukrainians to the combat with a video deal on social media platform. There were 100 so far, one for every day of the war, in nightly reminders that he has now no longer fled, that Ukraine has certainly survived. His actor-educated voice may be calming, a deep, exclusive almost whisper as he appears without delay into the camera. Or forceful, growing in ethical outrage as he condemns the maximum latest Russian atrocities and insists that the ones accountable may be reprimanded. As the times and weeks have ticked with the aid of using, his unshaven face has grown a darkish beard. He has misplaced his boyish looks. The puffiness from sleepless nights as Russian troops marched at the capital become changed with the aid of using nuclear up while the incursion stalled. Since the beginning of the war, he is wearing diverse sunglasses of navy green, performing most customarily in a easy t-shirt. The affect he leaves is clear, he's clean from the combat and approximately to get returned to it. A diligent and professional speaker, Zelenskyy has communicated with the aid of using video hyperlinked to the United Nations, British government, US Congress and approximately a dozen different parliaments across the world, in addition to the Cannes Film Festival and America's Grammy Awards. Infrequently if ever has a person without a tie speak to such a lot of VIPs. He additionally has given conversations to journalists. He held information convention with inside the protection of the Kyiv subway. Although his footage deal with has been his preferred channel for informing and provoking his fellow citizens. He frequently starts off evolved with an exuberant greeting to Ukrainians as the unfastened humans of a courageous country or the invincible humans of our outstanding country. He continually ends with a defiant glory to Ukraine. He informs them of the arena chiefs he has communicated with in the course of the time in his struggles to get the once chiefs to ship extra and higher weapons, to inflict ever extra punishing bans on Russia. He addresses his kindred Ukrainians' annoyance and throb from the decimation of the nation, the unspeakable passings. My coronary heart parts from how Russia is treating our kin, he expressed on March 16 after Russian explosives killed people shielding in a performance center in Mariupol. He shows respect for their boldness and says he never becomes wary of expressing gratitude toward every one of those battling to decide the eventual fate of Ukraine. That the nation didn't fall inside the space of days as Russia anticipated, he told on April 14, was on the grounds that great many Ukrainians went with the main choice of their life, to battle. He likewise has attempted to contact a Russian crowd, as on April 1 when he changed from Ukrainian into Russian to encourage Russians to get their children far from the conflict. We don't require new dead individuals here, he said. Deal with your youngsters so they don't become bad guys, don't send them to the military. Give your best for keep them alive. At home. In his footage address Friday on the conflict's 100th day, Zelenskyy said many words and numbers are presently connected with the conflict, however there are three terms we fought past 8 years, peace, victory, Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine. In legitimizing the February 24 attack, Putin said he was saving Ukraine from the drug junkies and neo-Nazis of Zelenskyy's administration. He has since disregarded Zelenskyy's requires a gathering. Earlier in June 2019, not long after Zelenskyy was chosen president, Russian President Vladimir Putin was inquired as to why he hadn't complimented the new Ukrainian pioneer. In a stooping reaction, Vladimir Putin appeared to discount the entertainer-turned-president. Indeed, it's one thing to play somebody and one more to be somebody, Russian President Vladimir Putin said. Indeed, it's one thing to play somebody and one more to be somebody. So far, that personality has been displayed to Ukrainians and the world. Furthermore, to Putin,